This is a certified hood classic.
The creators of South Park have signed a new deal with Viacom CBS that will pay them more than $900 million over the next year. It says more than, not $900 million. How much? And then HBO paid them $500 million to have South Park on HBO Max. So what? They got...
This is Trey Parker and Matt Stone. They're very silly men. The creators of South Park, Team America, and the blockbuster musical The Book of Mormon, they create an entire episode of South Park from scratch in 6 days.
What?
For the very first time, they've invited an Australian film crew in to see exactly how it's done. This is The Feed's field trip to South Park.
Remember, at the end of this is 1 week. At the end of this, they're getting paid $233 million a year, okay, to do whatever we're getting ready to see right now. Let's just keep that in mind. These guys are great.
When you're in production, walk me through your week. What does each day consist of?
Stress.
Stress, crying.
Stress, stomach troubles, diarrhea.
Well, it's funny because I now can put a big difference between Thursday and Tuesday. You know, because our week starts on a Thursday. And Thursday is the day you get to go in the room and you're like, what should we do? And it's the most fun day because there's no, here's what we've got, where do we go? It's just like, what do we want to make fun of? What do we want to like talk about?
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm from Australia. Hi, how are you?
So this is where every day starts with us during the run. And it's basically, we sort of have 3 whiteboards for acts 1, 2, and 3, you know, and we'll just start writing down, making drawings and doing things, you know, if we think of a new character, I'll run up and draw it really quick, and we'll spend the first, you know, 2.5 hours of every day in here. And you usually get something that's like, oh, that's fun. That sounds fun. Oh, that'll be easy. And then we all go, oh, let's go home. This will be easy. We'll figure this out. We've got time. Let's take a little break and go out to dinner, you know, and we'll like.
See? So you telling me, all right, so first step, they get down, they figure out what they gonna do, okay? Then they ain't even stressed yet. They going out to eat on $200 million.
Like do whatever. And then come back on
Going
Friday
out
and
to
it's
eat
like,
first.
okay, so that's what we're doing. Okay, we don't have a whole lot of time now. We should probably really get into it, you know. And then you get to Saturday and you're like, why is this funny again? You know, and you're like, but now we've got this. We've got to do that. We can't just make it Kyle's story because we started with Stan's story. And then you get to Sunday and it's like, oh, dude, we're so fucked right now, you know. And it's like, and this
So
is
they screw themselves over.
And then you get to Monday and you're like, oh my God, dude, we're gonna have to call the network and tell them there's no show. Like,
Have you ever had to do that?
No. No,
So you've never missed a delivery day?
We did. We missed one
but it
a
wasn't
couple years
because of-
ago. It was because of a power outage.
Because of a power outage.
Luckily, some guy hit a telephone pole a few blocks away and took out all the power. Yeah.
I'm just trying to ascertain, I'm looking at your face trying to ascertain if that's like a story that you made up and you're sticking with.
It'd be pretty awesome.
See, they never fucking miss a time. And he just said a key word. They bullshit around the most of the week. Respectfully. I'm saying this respectfully. They think of the idea, and then they go fucking chill and lay back, and then they get to cramming. They get to cramming in some shit, and they try to make it work. Do you know that means, bro, like, the animators probably work hard as hell, but look, they probably got software and systems down packed to where it's easy to make characters, it's easy to animate it. Not easy, but like easier than starting from scratch and not knowing, like a little small animation studio. They have $900 million, nigga. They could get whatever they might want, bro. Hey, what's up, my boy? What's going on, man?
One big rule would definitely be you're not as far ahead as you think you are.
On a 6-day-a-week show, yeah, you reckon? That's shocking. Can stress help comedy?
It's not that I don't think it helps comedy, but it helps writer's block for sure.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing is that you just squash writer's block because it's like, okay, well, whatever, especially on Tuesday when it's like, dude, we still have to fill all these holes. And it's like, okay, well, clock's ticking.
Right.
And it's like, well, this idea isn't very good. It's like, too bad, do it. You know what I mean? And that's just what happens.
What is it, sweetie? Ben Affleck is naked in my bed.
I'm the voice of a generation. What are you? Jesus, oh, how I love you, Jesus.
Dude, this guy is freaking daffy.
part of us, we get in every season, we're like, man, we're in our 18th season now. Like, why is this just as hard as it was?
You definitely work
then?
better under stress.
And we realize, it's because we don't ever want to do the same joke. We got into a place where we were sitting there in the writer's room going, oh, here's a good idea, and someone would go, Simpsons did that. And we would like rip on it, be like, fuck, Simpsons, it was always the Simpsons did it. And now the funny thing is we'll sit in there and we'll be like, dude, what if someone like this, someone like that? And we're like, this sounds familiar. And it's like, yeah, we did it 10 years ago. And it's like, so it's like, we did that. We did that.
Don't you oppress me, fat boy. Don't call me fat, motherfucker.
The origins of South Park begin with you creating a viral video before viral videos were even a concept, before YouTube.
Right.
Take me back to the very start. Where did that come from?
It actually goes before that. We were still in college, and there was this thing I had made that was construction paper, and again, it was very Gilliam-like, and people, but even way worse, crappier animation than Gilliam. And then meanwhile, there was these voices Matt and I would always do. And the main one was a little fat kid that we would always do and talk about, this little fat bastard, we talked about. And we could use the same because we just got an animation book and looked at mouth shapes depending on a vowel or consonant, and we just copied those and cut them out and put them on. And we're just doing this all with a single stop frame camera, and we did a 5-minute thing that we called the Spirit of Christmas.
Go, Santa! Go, Jesus!
And then we're here in LA, sleeping on couches and trying to take meetings and do the thing, and but one of those things, everyone, that's what happened. You come to LA and you think that, you're getting paid attention to, but the truth is everyone's paying attention to you just in case you're somebody. They want to make sure they have a piece of it. But, we came to town and everyone was basically saying, well, what else do you got? What else you got?
Wow. So look, when they first made South Park, they were kind of winging it, bro. They were winging it. Of course, it was stop frame animation. We all knew that. But like they were kind of winging it. But the fact is, it was so entertaining and it was so funny that it grew into a $1.4 billion deal. And that's not even counting all the fucking years of money that they made, bro.
That's what everyone wants to know because they want a piece
say.
of it. So we were going around showing people.
I'm just saying, bro, look, you could start from the bottom. You could start being nothing. You be sleeping in your car. Next thing you know, 25 years later, you get a fucking deal for $1.5 billion.
Well, other stuff we've done, we've got this little animated thing we did. And that was one thing that somebody then said, oh, make me another one of these, just for me personally. And gave us money, gave us like, $10,000 or something. We're like, whoa. We made $10,000 and all we got to do is make another one of these dumb little Christmas cards. And because it was for someone here in Hollywood, that he sent out then, he copied it on VHS. This was all just on VHS. He copied it and it went out to a bunch of people, but they were all people. So then that got copied and that got copied and then got copied. And the next thing we knew, literally, it was 2 months later, but people were coming up going, you guys, I got to show you something. It's so funny. And they're popping in a VHS and we're like, we made this.
Did you not put your own names in the credits?
We didn't put our names on it.
Oh man, that could have been very detrimental, bro. Like some real shit. Somebody could have stole their shit.
So people didn't know who did it, which added to the sort of allure. Yeah. You know what I mean? It ended up kind of working for us.
You said something really interesting there about how when you get to LA, people are listening to you just in case you become big. Yeah. How has that experience changed the way you operate?
There is a part of we did come from that indie film ethic, which is like we're making a movie. And so it's like we do have roles and we have, other people we work with now, and it's a pretty professional, it doesn't resemble the way we work, in college, but kind of at the heart of it, it's like, let's make a movie or let's put on a show. And it is like, you grab that, I'll grab that. And I think that even though we're old and fat now, there's a part of it that we still have that ethic, which is like, that fucks us, by the way. I mean, it really does. Sometimes we've fallen flat on our face because we're like, no, we're going to do it this way. And then you go, oh, okay, that's not why you do it that way.
It works like that way for a reason.
Marionette movie, we're going to do it. Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Don't do that.
That was a bad idea.
That was a bad idea.
Oh,
so then we go in here, Matt and I go into this part, and this is where we've always been, is our dark little cave.
This is where the voices happen.
Yeah, so Matt will...
Hey, bro, you can hear the quality enhanced. That soundproof booth, man, it ain't no joke, bro. He said they did the same thing for the same effect because they were being the same. I got to do the original South Park video on there. Let me see if we can find the original South Park video after this.
He'll be on here as headphones. I'll be here with my headphones. It's always been the same way. Matt's there, I'm here, we're both on headphones. But it's funny because if you see a lot of other voiceover work, they've got someone there and they're like, let's go get him. And then there's a director going, try it a little more like this. And they're going, let's go get him. And they'll get, a bunch of takes of one line. Matt and I, if we have to say one line over again, we get really pissed off,
Yeah.
right? So we'll get in here and we're literally just bouncing off, I'm going da-da-da, 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 and we're like, okay, we got it. So if it's a 1 minute scene, it takes 1 minute to record.
All right, Kyle, what's this about? Jimmy's dead. What?
It's way bigger than anybody thought. The PC people are coming after us. I think there's only one thing we can do.
We have to get guns.
Imagine how pissed you would be if they went through like a whole 3 minute thing and you realize, oh shit, it wasn't recording, but I just didn't want them to stop. I did that before when I was recording somebody and shit. They were all into it. Yeah, man. And they stopped. You're like, whoo, I think that was my best take ever. I was like, I shut off the computer. I was like, oh shit. Power out. Damn, bro. I don't know what happened.
Guns?
Are you serious? How the hell else will we go?
Kenny's right,
Oh,
Kyle.
Lord.
Even if we thought it could help protect us.
Even if we thought it could help protect us, how are we all gonna get our hands on guns?
They must have got a new editor, bro.
All right, cool, we got guns. So now what?
Do you have a favorite voice? One that you sort of really relish doing?
The best now for me is Stan's dad, Randy, because when I first started doing the show, I was doing an impersonation of my dad. Now that I'm way older, I'm just doing my voice. You know what I mean?
Damn.
South Park kind of sucks now. You guys want to bail?
That's the one I just don't have to think about because I'm still kind of channeling my dad, but I'm just becoming my dad too. So it's just easier for me to write for him. And
Hey, look, he's so happy to be in the studio. He's just laughing. He's like, ha! Like the dude over here, the dude right over here is shit like that. I'm not saying it's not funny, but I'm just saying he's in the studio, so he's like, look, I'm just happy that they gave us some shit to record and shit. So he's like extra laughing. He's like, ha! Oh shit.
It's always fun when dad, but I'm just becoming my dad too. So it's just easier for me to write for him. And it's always fun when it's a big scene like Cartman and Butters and Matt and I are just doing it together. Sometimes the worst is when it's like, and it'll happen a lot where there's just a scene that happens to be Stan and Cartman and Stan's dad. And it's just all me, so you just have to be, because I still want to keep that energy up. So I'm literally still just going, but Dad, why are we going to do that? Because we're going to do that. Well, I'm going to do that. Just trying to do it as fast as I can.
Bro, I swear I wish South Park would just hire me for chef, bro. Even though I've never reached out to them and never said anything about it, and quite frankly, they have no idea who I am. But I'm just saying, bro. Hello there, children. I wish they would just hire me for self, man. We got to get this shit going.
It's pretty crazy.
And the winner is the Book of Mormon. Wow! I believe that God has a plan for all of us. I believe that plan involves me getting my own planet, and
Imagine your first leading role in being a singer, your first big role, and it's for South Park production about a Book of Mormon that they're making fun of, bro. That has to be in itself a very interesting thing that you have done in your life, bro. It's kind of like, what the fuck? And then at the same time, it's like, that's dope.
My favorite thing about when the Book of Mormon opened in LA is that you'd open up the playbill and there were ads in there from the actual Mormon church.
And you know what? Unbelievably great is that?
Yeah.
The least
Crazy is
surprised
that?
people by that, though, were us. Because there were so many people before the thing that were going, okay, well, you guys, and all the interviews, they're like, so are you scared about the Mormon backlash? We're like, no. We're like, we know Mormons. Like, Mormons' MO, and that's what we would put into the show. Their MO is kill with kindness. Like, their thing is just like, that's great that you're doing that, and that's awesome. And
let me tell you about this book.
Let me tell you about Heavenly Father, and it's just like, they just kill you with that stuff.
And I believe that in 1978 God changed his mind about black people. Black people, you can be a Mormon who just believes.
Oh,
This.
He's talking about, what the fuck is this?
So that's the musical, is about like, here's some goofy stories and here's some really nice people, and here's Americans and here's how Americans are.
To be sharing my faith.
And then when we took it on the road, the press had this thing of like, well, you can't sing "Fuck You God" in the middle of America. People are going to freak out about that. And we're like, we're from the middle of America, and we think it's
born
funny.
and raised in the middle of America,
yeah, and we think it's cool. And so it's been sort of this, every step along the way. I think Trey and I have a high.
Hey, bro, you know what's interesting? How long ago was this? That's the dude that plays off Atlanta, the actual TV series, and now he's starting to get big roles. So another one. Hustle hard, bro. Hustle hard. Keep putting in your fucking work. Keep putting in that work, because you never know where you could be. If you keep on hustling, you keep on grinding, you keep on putting in that fucking work, you never know where the fuck you'll end up, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I just peeped that. You know what I'm saying? That is him. That's Paperboy. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I know him from. But he's in that new Netflix movie too, and he did a hell of a job there.
Higher view of Mormons, and you know what I mean?
Dope.
Like they're
in
gonna
the
be
middle
cool.
of America.
In the middle of America is gonna be cool.
Just saying.
So then, so that we have what we recorded, and then we have what they've drawn,
Yeah.
and then basically that all then comes into this one. And
but since it's passing, they never bring back Chef. No offense, brother. I don't want to be Chef. Okay, I want them to create a new character that is like Chef's nephew, something. I don't know, some part of Chef's family, and that is what I want them to do.
I can sit and kind of watch it play out and go,
Chef.
you know what, cut that line, don't worry about that. Let's just cut right to this.
Knee man.
Every Tuesday, they know, Matt and Ann know, they have to talk me off the cliff, and every show I'm like, this is a horrible show. I don't want anyone to see it. So there was one episode we did. It was the first show of the season, and I'm like, I've lost it. Like, I don't know how to do this anymore. And I was like, please, I was begging, and I was like, do not let this go on the air, because I don't want the South Park legacy to be ruined, and this show is going to ruin it because it's so bad. and I'm just gonna feel terrible. And we just ended up going, it's just gotta go on the air, Trey, just let it go on the air. And I just went home and I was depressed and couldn't sleep. And I got up the next day and they're like, dude, people really like that show. And it was the show, it was about World of Warcraft. And it is still, to this day, one of our
That was one of the best shows, bro. You tripping.
most famous episodes that people will cite as one of the best of all time. And I literally wanted to kill myself over that episode. It's crazy.
Wow, these things are amazing.
So
there still is a little bit of, I still think a little bit, we both feel like a little bit outsiders to the town. Even though we're totally in Hollywood, we're in LA right now. I don't know. Our life doesn't merge a lot with that.
Yeah, and right when
scene.
South Park hit and everything, there was a little bit there where we were, and like when the South Park movie came out, where we were like invited to some Hollywood parties and stuff.
Well, you did go to the Oscars in dresses high. Was it LSD or acid?
Yeah.
LSD.
Why did you do that?
Seemed like a really good idea at the time. It was a good idea, by the way.
But it was really like kind of that thing of, wow, we've been nominated to Oscar. Like, I gotta go to the Oscar, but that's also represented everything we were kind of against as indie filmmakers, and the way we were still just these young guys that are like, fuck Hollywood, and fuck that and everything. And that's what South Park started really being about, was fuck celebrity and all this stuff. And it's like, but it's the Oscars, like, it's pretty sweet. We gotta go.
Try to have it both ways.
I want to see what happens.
How can we have our cake and eat it too in this, So it was like, well, we gotta go, but we gotta kind of rip on it somehow, you know what I mean? So that's where the original thing came. We were there and we had the dresses on, and it was just anxiety. It was like, there's no way I can't go get out of a limo at the Oscars in this,
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, but we do have a little acid. Like, if we did a little acid, we probably could do it.
I think it made it. I don't know. At the time, I remember thinking this will make it make more sense.
Yeah.
And it kind of did. It kind of did.
Yeah, they're in dresses and they're high off of acid, so I guess so.
Phase ended quickly, and now everyone hates us. So,
We don't get invited.
We don't get invited to anything.
If you make fun of
trees
everyone
beneath.
for 15 or 20 years, they're like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You guys can't come to our party.
Wow, bro, that's incredible. Maybe, but since the whole incident, they probably don't want to do it to be brought back up. I love to see a family member of Chef, family voiced by Quizzy. But again, they probably want to keep that buried. But see, here's the thing, bro. You can't bury it. Chef was in the very first episode of South Park, all the way up. Of course, some episodes he wasn't in there, but he was very much a big part of the show. There was no way you could bury Chef. Like, even under seasons and seasons and seasons, there's no way you could bury Chef, bro. You know what I'm saying?